Well, the basketball team keeps playing games, and we've got to keep covering them here on another web edition of Cuse Countdown. Alongside Adam Unger and Matt Wieselthier, I'm Nick Dugan. Guys, we're going to get to Holy Cross, the win against Holy Cross in a moment. But first, Monmouth coming to the Dome, of course, known for their bench celebrations. I've got to know, what's your favorite post-basket scoring celebration?
Favorite scoring celly by myself, striking the arrow, good old Mike Miniget. But if it's the team on the bench, give me Star Wars, give me the Tusken Raiders.
See, I got two right after the basket, a little Carmelo Anthony action. Put the 3 to the forehead. However, Monmouth's bench did this last year, catching the fish and holding him up and taking a picture. That is probably the best. Icelandic soccer teams have done it. Phenomenal celebration.
Those are some pretty good celebrations. I'm partial to the loading up the old 3 myself. However, the Orange had a lot to celebrate after their win in the Carrier Dome on Tuesday over Holy Cross. It was a big one. 90-46, the final score. Andrew White, the graduate transfer, with 19 points and 3 assists. John Gillen also putting up a near double-double with 15 and 9. That puts Gillen at 15 total assists on the young season. And let's not forget about the sophomore Tyler Lydon, finally coming through with a big game, 17 points and 6 rebounds for him. And even though it was a big win and an all-around success for the Orange, Jim Boeheim still says there's plenty to improve upon.
We've got a lot of work to do on everything. It's not one thing. You know, we've got work to do, get Pascal up to speed, and, you know, just get everybody. It's a completely different type of defense, and you see a team get open shots like happened out there tonight. That's that's just guys not understanding the defense and the rotations. And if you keep doing that and you're playing a good team, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you big time.
And so the defense maybe not quite up to Jim Boeheim par, but Andrew White, certainly very few complaints about him so far on the season. He has been absolutely dominant. I mean dominant through these first 2 games. He leads the Orange, as you can see there, with 18 points. He's grabbing it off the glass as well for a game. And those 2 big numbers at the bottom are what are really sparking this Orange offense right now. 50% from the field, and that includes over 40% from behind the arc. That is an integral part of this Orange offense, as we've seen in the past 3 years. But we've mentioned Andrew White. He scored 28 times last season in double digits. Is there any reason he can't do that again in the ACC this season?
There is no reason he can't do that again. I expect him to do it. The Big Ten and the ACC are both huge basketball conferences. He's killer from 3-point range. His defense is also very solid, which can help him create opportunities on the fast break. He's also going to see a lot of minutes because of his versatility, being able to play that shooting guard and small forward position.
I think the ACC has a little bit tougher defense than the Big Ten, just a little bit tougher. And really for Andrew White, it's about hitting that 3. If he's not able to hit the 3, he gets a little bit quiet, which is a big problem. In the last game, he went 5 for 12 from the field, 5 for 10 from 3. Didn't get any baskets from inside the 3-point arc. So if he's not able to hit the 3, he might go a little quiet. So possibly, probably, but only if the 3 keeps hitting.
Yeah, so and you mentioned it, possibly, probably. This is a guy who has a lot of experience, the graduate transfer, but is there any room for improvement in this graduate transfer in Andrew White?
Well, I mentioned it, and he had 2 shots inside the arc and missed both of them. So the big thing for me is really trying to get that drive going. He doesn't have much of it. He's very much a 3-point shooter, and there are plenty of players for the SU offense right now that can take care of that problem. However, it's really nice if you have that threat going into the middle. Obviously, John Gillen right now for SU has been able to drive into the middle, and you have the big post players, Pascal Chukwu, Torian Thompson, of course, Tyler Lydon, even though he does shoot 3s, he's able to get into the middle. However, it would be nice for the graduate transfer to also as well be able to go into the middle and drive.
I agree with you, driving is a huge part of it, but it's also a little bit of distribution as well as his defensive play. I think as he continues to get used to that 2-3 zone, we can see him become a little bit more of a ball hawk at the top of that zone, along with Frank Howard. See a combination almost as lethal as Mike Miniget and Trevor Cooney last season. Time will tell. We'll have to see.
Now, Syracuse 2-0 on the young season, and they continue their play in the Brooklyn Hoops Holiday Invitational against Monmouth coming up on Friday. Now, this is a Monmouth team, a lot of flash on their bench, but also a lot of bang. 29-8 last season in the MAC. They lost in the conference championship to Iona. It's a team that returns 4 starters. Adam, what's going to be your key for the Orange in this game?
The key to the game is going to be sliding to the ball on defense. I'm talking help from the back end of the zone, especially both in the corner from the wings and from the big man in the middle, stepping out towards the elbow, towards the foul line, even maybe out towards three-point range. Tyler Lydon is the only one who's doing that. You need that out of Coleman, you need that out of Chukwu, you need that out of Thompson, and you need that out of Roberson in order to shut down Monmouth.
Well, I'm going to say the key to this game for Syracuse is not to underestimate your opponent. This was a, quote, NCAA tournament snub last season. They're returning 4 starters, and the 5th starter this year scored more points from the bench last year than the starter he's replaced. So this is a Monmouth team that is very good, and if Syracuse takes for granted the fact that they've had 2 easy games so far in their schedule between Colgate and Holy Cross, not nearly the level as Monmouth. Monmouth almost beat South Carolina the other night. It's going to be a lot harder for Syracuse. If they take that for granted, they will lose this game.
And this is also a Monmouth team that South Carolina, just a night or so ago, needed a buzzer beater to beat 70-69 in overtime. So guys, with that being said, does SU get the victory in the Carrier Dome on Friday?
I believe they do get the victory, 88-67 for the Orange. They had a lot of offensive firepower this year, been moving a lot faster, been able to score a lot more. I believe that will go over any defensive issues that they have, and really it's just a talent thing. Even though Monmouth is very good, I believe Syracuse is much more talented than Monmouth is, and they will be able to get the win.
I agree with you. I've got the Orange winning 82-63. It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for the Orange, but I still expect them to come out firing from behind the arc. As well, the defense has to improve because Monmouth is a step up from Holy Cross and from Colgate. However, the Orange are going to be just fine.
So our analysts giving us a 3-0 start for the Orange on the young basketball season. That's all the time we have here in studio. For Adam Unger, Matt Weasel there, I'm Nick Dugan. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, Syracuse.